Doobity-boo-boom, howdy goes. I don't know sometimes. I just don't know. But this will be filmed in multiple parts because I'm expecting Texas Chainsaw to be later in the video. So I'm going to focus firstly on the other things in the thumbnail, which I haven't opened yet. In Bruges and Session 9. So let's dive into these, shall we? I think Session 9 was one of those classic... I saw a post on Reddit and someone was talking about it and I was like, you know what, that sounds interesting, I want to get it, but I didn't want to just be spending the money on just the one film, so of course I upgraded in Bruges. I could have waited for the there was no more limited edition, that was sold out. I regret not getting this limited edition to some degree because I really like in Bruges, but I wanted to upgrade from my other standard edition version, which was 1080i, which is one of the few Blu-rays I have that's that encoding, which is ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that I might get rid of that copy now. But this also comes with a lot of special features. From the reviews I saw, it still had a really nice transfer. So you've got 6-shooter Martin McDonagh's Oscar-winning short film in HD, Shoot First, Sight See Later, a new interview, and all the rest of them just interviews, aren't they? Yeah, interviews of cast and crew and on-set footage, interviews of cast and crew and on-set footage, deleted scenes, boat trip around Bruges, and gag reel. So it's got a good selection of that's really reflective of special features. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited for that. I remember watching this film. See, it actually says 1080p for the video, which is nice. I do like McDonagh's stuff. I actually had a collection of his films. Like, I had them in a collection for a bit until my mum got pissed off because she wanted to watch 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and she's like, "Where the fuck is it?" And I'm like, "It's on the McDonagh." And I'm like, you know what? Some of these directors, I cannot put them in suites. It's just, it is what it is, you know? Which is fine, you know? Some directors are very much more recognizable. Say, Spielberg, for example, you know? So this is the limited edition of Session 9. They still have this in stock. I've heard this one's quite an interesting modern horror. I say modern horror because it's like 2001. Oh, that says 2021. It came out in the early 2000s, but I don't actually know... Oh, 2001. The little tiny little copyright from 2001. So yeah, this is Session 9. I haven't seen this one yet, as you've noticed. I just got it. This is the J card. Nice artwork as an overall. I think I might... Yeah, this is one of those things where the J card is the exact same artwork on the back, but just with text applied, so I might just keep that there. I wish I had 2 stickers though, so now I'm going to hold it like this. But as you can see, it does have a good selection of special features. It does emphasize its limited edition nature as well. Itchy moustache. But yeah, so... Limited 2-disc limited edition, rigid slipcase with new artwork by Christopher Shy, softcover book with new essays by Charles Bramasco, Simon Fitzjohn, and Alexandra Helen Nicholas, plus a few behind-the-scenes and location images and 6 collector cards. There's also a twisted collage, Alexandra Helen Nicholas on Session 9. There's a few things here by Alexandra, which is nice. I like her work. I mean, I'm pretty sure she did work on Texas Chainsaw as well, so I guess I'll find out in a couple of days, or for you guys in a couple of minutes. So you get your standard Blu-ray, which has the exact same artwork, so if you got the standard edition, this is what you'd be getting, except you wouldn't get, I was going to say you wouldn't get art cuts, but I guess the art cuts are in the other part of the pack, because this felt heavier, because it's like, oh look, you know, there's that, but then there's the disc number 2, so disc... That's weird that they've done that. They don't usually do that sometimes with these cases. Disc 1, main feature, Return to Danvers, Haunted Palace, Horrors, Hallowed Grounds, Story to Screen, Deleted Scenes, Alternate Ending, Trailer, Commentaries. I like that it has it all listed down. Disc number 2, The Dark Side, Mike Session, Back to the Bat, Invisible Design, The Sound of Dread, a Twisted Collage. So yeah, that's quite nice. It also has a barcode on the case as well. I wonder if it would consider that to be limited edition or because it's just the standard edition set. I guess I'll find out. I could probably scan them both, but I won't, obviously. If I'm going to scan for Blu-ray.com app, I'd just scan the limited edition set. So then you get your art cards, which, you know, you get your main artwork that you got there. This is just a shot from the film. It's an interesting shot. I'm yet to see this, but yeah, it's pretty standard in terms of art cards. But it's nice to have the new artwork to some degree. I do like that. That's some nice artwork. But again, it just looks like images from the movie, realistically. But at the same time, that same artwork, lo and behold, is on the booklet. So yeah, not awful though, you know. Yeah, and then you get your booklet, which get a couple of essays. Alexandra's is the one to begin with. Interesting. Yeah, cast and crew. Words by Alexandra, and then you get your selection of stuff without me trying to not spoil the film too much. I haven't seen it, so I don't know what'll spoil it. If there is much to spoil, you know, sometimes I don't like getting spoiled on horror films. Sometimes, like on Twitter, every now and again there'll be like comments on like, oh, what's a scary film or what's a great scene that did this or whatever, and like people will just show a scene or a gift from a film, and it's just like, great, now I like know that that's a part of the film. Sometimes it'll sell me on the film, but sometimes it's like it'll force me to watch the film sooner. Sometimes I need to have mental health breaks. I'm not always just clamoring these horror films into my head. Cool. That's it for those two. Let's jump into Texas Chainsaw or whatever else I might get in the meantime. Whoa. Oh, why do I bother doing that? That hurts my knees. Right, it's the rest of it. This is actually going to be more than just Second Sight. I really was expecting it to just be Texas Chainsaw, but you know, sometimes shit just happens. So, to make things very awkward for me in my my edit for the Blu-ray collection, because I'm almost done. I've actually gone backwards. I got to the start of S, and then I jumped straight to U, because S and T are really large. So, yeah. But I got Prime Cut. This is why I'm saying it's awkward, because as you can see here, I shaved. I had like 5 to 6 centimeters of growth. The reason why, which no one has questioned. Thank you. My girlfriend's overseas. I'm testing shit out. I'm seeing what happens if I just don't do stuff. Not like don't shower, because I'm not a fucking moron, but like don't shave. Well, I still clean up a little bit, but now I just shaved it all off because I figured I've got a work function in a couple of days. I want to look appropriate. So, either way, conveniently, the same day, I actually got this. This is the Kino Lorber version. I got it at Cinemaniacs. They had it at their screening of Grease 2 because they're selling media. So, of course, I'm like, I'm going to buy some media. And they had it on their website, and I was going to buy it a couple of weeks ago. And I didn't, and then they had it there in person. So I'm like, hey, sure, why not? 1 of 3 down. So yes, that's going to be really awkwardly cut in. And I say awkwardly cut because it's just going to randomly have me with a slightly shorter beard. And by slightly, I mean a lot. I don't want to be like regretful of the fact that I filmed all that with an immense beard, but I know it is what it is. But I also haven't filmed the box sets or the steelbooks yet. My plan is to hopefully film the box sets once I film the main video and add them in. Have that as a post thing. So, you know, Blu-rays, main shelf, then box sets everywhere. And then steelbooks will be a separate video. Mostly because steelbooks are catchy enough as a clickable kind of thing when it comes to videos, and also I've got a lot of box sets, so I don't know if I can get through them quickly enough. I don't want to open them up. I just kind of want to be like, bam, box set, and then move on. Like this one, bam, box set, and then move on. This is the Texas Chainsaw Motherfucking Massacre, baby. Yes, I got the Second Sight in. It finally arrived. It actually did arrive on Monday. I thought it was going to arrive on Tuesday by the time I woke up on Monday, because Australia Post was being a dick. Anyway, regular jazz, you know, sturdy hard box, thick booklet. If you've seen anybody unboxing this stuff, you know what's what. You know, you got your essays, you got, oh, look at little face, he looks so cute. You know, you get all your essays, all your images. I like how they've all got this kind of red look, like the kind of texture of it all does. It's really, really nice. It is art cards. You know, you get all this new artwork, which is breathtaking stuff. I watched the transfer. I actually looked at it the other night because I was expecting to film this earlier today and I forgot about it. And I was like, this looks really nice. But I wanted a video that like actually properly compared. You know how there are some of those videos on YouTube which are like, hey, here's an actual like shot-for-shot comparison between this transfer and this transfer. Also your J card, which if you would like to pause and read, hopefully it will be in focus. But yes, this is the limited edition version. A lot of stuff. The Blu-ray is region B, but the 4K is all regions. 190-page hardback book. Insanity. You get your nice landscape artwork. This is a beautiful set, just for the most part. I think I kind of had mine this underneath the book, which is probably a bad idea if you're going to have the set and you're going to have, like, say, face it on its side but upwards. Have this be on the top, because I don't think you can see it. I'm trying to see if it reflects much in the light, but there is a little crease in the middle from like the disc ring. Also, it has disc 1 being the Blu-ray, disc 2 being the special features Blu-ray, and disc 3 being the 4K UHD, which is very interesting. No artwork underneath, which Second Sight just kind of has that as a trend now. They're just not putting artwork underneath. I don't know if they ever did. I don't know. I've just got other sets that have artwork underneath with digipacks like that. But I actually was like, I want to rewatch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 tonight, because my mate was like, you got to watch the IMAX stuff on Disney+, so I'm probably going to do that tomorrow night, because it comes out tomorrow night, so the third one, so I'll watch that on Friday. But either way, I would have watched it by the time this video comes out. So, luckily there's a cinema across the street from where my work is having a work function. It's at a bowling alley, so I'm like, I can go watch a movie and then walk across the street and the bowling. I'm so excited. I'm like, I don't give a shit if bowling sucks. I get to watch a 2.5 hour long, space epic. It's gonna be great. So anyway, I wanted to watch it tonight. My brother had to go to bed early because he gets up at like 5 o'clock. I don't know why. It's stupid. I mean, he has to do it for work, but I don't know who would put themselves through that. I'm just not that kind of person. Either way, I was like, well, I don't want to be just editing my video, because like I only have a certain amount of patience for editing, and like I listened to a 2-hour podcast while I was editing, and then I stopped. So I edited for about 2 to 2.5 hours today, and I'm still not finished. I think I've spent about 20 hours editing this fucking video, probably more. Either way, I decided to watch the transfer, but because I'd watched the film earlier this year to decide if I wanted to get the Second Sight UHD, I was like, I don't want to watch the film again. I want to watch it with the commentary, which I don't do that, usually. I don't really do commentary tracks. It's not really my thing. I like having them. It's always good to have them. But I don't always do it. So I decided to listen to the second commentary track they have, because the first one is the new one, which apparently is quite good, so I'm pretty eager for it, but there's like 4 different tracks. But I listened to the one with Toby Hooper, the main, writer, editor, director, Toby Hooper. But it's actually like a kind of like a Q&A with him and the guy who made the documentary. So that's kind of really, it's for the 40th anniversary set, and I'm like, that's really interesting, because they did like a 20th anniversary one as well, which I believe is also on this. If I take a look, new audio commentary of Amanda Reyes and Bill Ackerman, so apparently that one's quite good. Audio commentary of writer, producer, director Toby Hooper. It doesn't credit the other guy who made the legacy of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No, is that the one? Yeah, I think so. But that's a new feature-length doco. That can't be right. Behind the Mask, Shocking Truth Plus. It might be the Shocking Truth documentary. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure the documentary that was actually on here, the guy who made it, did the audio commentary with Toby Hooper. But then you've also got audio commentary with cinematographer Daniel Pearl, editor J. Larry Carroll, and sound recordist Tech Nicolo. Nicolau. Audio commentary, writer, director, producer Toby Hooper, cinematographer Daniel Pearl, and actor Gunnar Hansen, plus another one with the actors. So, and the art director. So, there's like 4 different audio commentaries. So I listened to the one with Toby Hooper. It was interesting. It kind of took a while to kind of get me into the groove of it, because I was also like mixing with the visuals of the film, and sometimes it's hard to like balance the two in my mind. But no, it was nice. It was really interesting, and it was really nice watching just the whole transfer just unfold. It just looks incredible. And the thing is too, is that, like, I watched Alexandra Helen Nicholas's video essay, which is actually on, it's a new exclusive special feature, just talking about masks, because she did like I'm pretty sure it's from her first book, which is a PhD thesis. Either way, I watched that, and it has, shows clips and whatever, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't involve Dolby Vision. I don't think it's the new 4K transfer. I think it's probably just the original 4K scan that they had, or maybe it is the 4K scan, the new one, but without the HDR grading. Because I don't see why you'd put that on a video essay. That'd be weird. They could have, I don't know. But because it just, the version that they showed of the film looked a bit weaker. And I'm like, okay, this is good. This is like the comparison I needed to showcase how the Dolby Vision, the extra grading, has really put in the emphasis, has really like just added some real pulp to it. It looks really healthy, and I love how it still looks ugly and grainy, and there's still white specks and dirt. Like it just looks like they've color timed it nicely. They haven't gone through and scrubbed everything out. It's just so clean, but like dirty at the same time. It's like I'm looking through dirt, but there's a layer of glass in front of it. Really pristine glassy. You don't really notice it, but it's slightly there. But also underneath it is just dirt with like worms and shit wriggling around. It's really nice. So that's my best way to describe it. Anyway, I'm not going to do an unboxing because this is really, really heavy, but I'm going to just flip the camera around. I got the AKIRA 35th anniversary box set, the manga, today. So let me show it to you. So the simple factor is, this is the card you get on the back, shows you the books plus this bonus book, tells you all the bonus features plus the little patch that you get. It's a nice thing, the artwork here actually matches with the artwork on the back of the set because it's usually stuck on. But as you can see, matte black finish, really nice. It's just a really glossy plastic texture. The artwork wraps around the whole thing. I won't go too into detail, but it is magnetized. And yeah, that's the little brooch which is stuck on, so you can't just take that off. These are all hardcover. It has a little thing to just keep it all balanced because this book is slightly larger, as you can see. I won't go into too much detail, but they do have sleeves. Let's see if I can take one out. You got the artwork there. You got alternate artwork on the cover as well for each book, as well as Japanese to show you like what it originally looked like. And then you have the actual manga, which is really goddamn nice. So I'm exceedingly excited to actually read through this, because I love the film. I mean, to some degree, who doesn't? I have the 4K. I've got still 2-3 different still versions of it. It's just, I've just always wanted it, and I keep seeing them. Like I kept seeing these at Minotaur, and it just popped up on my Facebook at the marketplace, and the guy lived 10 minutes away. So I was like, great, I'll just drive there and pick it up. And I did, and I got it for like $180, which was really nice because I compared the prices online. Most prices were going for over $200. One guy had for $170, but that was like out of plastic, and this guy had it mint, and that would have been posted as well. And this thing's heavy. It's like 5 kilos. It's really heavy. So, like, really heavy in the fact that it's a box of books. Heavy. So, yeah. But I'm just so happy to have it. I had to drive through a rainstorm to pick it up. I was like, I'm picking it up. I don't care for shit what the weather's like. It's going to be shitty all week. I'm doing it now. So I've got 2 more things to show off. I filmed this in 3 parts now. Hooray! I'll end with Picnic at Hanging Rock, the second side, but I did pick up the Bad Boys collection. I went to JB just after work the other day, and it was like $31 for the whole pack, and I'm like, you know what? First one's alright. I really like the second film, and I haven't seen the third film. So, you know, it does have the artwork for all 3 releases. They do all have the special features, which is nice. It's also an all-region set. Only discard on the first film, which I find interesting, because the second and third film, you know, standard Sony discard. So, you know, yeah, I don't know, I felt like it. Haven't seen the third one, I'd like to. Why not? And then we have Picnic at Hanging Rock. You know, I bought this from Dead End DVD, and I was actually kind of concerned, because like I was initially going to get it from Cinemaniacs. They didn't have it in stock anymore. And I was very concerned because when I, you know, the other day I saw a video talking about how there's digital noise reduction on the 4K, and that's like the reason I wanted to get it was the new transfer. I got the Criterion, so I didn't need the limited edition version. Still happy to have it. It looks amazing, very painterly and everything. It does come with the book, the novelization. I keep saying novelization. It's not a novelization. It's the novel that the movie was adapted from, with new artwork as well. So, you know, that's pretty nice. Has it all written down there. I don't think it has the bonus chapter. It has an extract in chapter 17, but no, it does not have. I do not believe it has the bonus chapter. It's nice, good artwork. It's not too different from the Criterion. If I was to show the Criterion version, the book in the Criterion version has that artwork. Compare the pair. The second side is thicker, noticeably thicker, which is interesting. It doesn't have the spine like Criterion. One actually has the Criterion spine, which is really interesting. Still has the same extract at the end. 195 pages versus 195. So yeah, somehow they're both. They're almost the same size, but still, you know. The second side does have its own booklet as well, which the Criterion has its own booklet, and this is a very hefty book. This goes into a lot of detail about the film, making of, all this kind of stuff. I think this is all like essays and stuff, and promotional material and whatnot. Let me take a look if this is a summary. Cast and crew, secrets, the secret of straying from the path, Picnic Hanging Rock as folk, horror and fairy tale by Kat Ellinger, an idea of the past, references to painting and photography in Peter Weir's Picnic Hanging Rock by Justine Smith, The Shadow of the Rock by Rebecca Hawkins Cross, Sheila's Through the Looking Glass and What Michael Found There, Back to the Picnic at Hanging Rock by Daniel Bird, The Picnic Papers by Daniel Bird, Costume Gallery, Long Afternoon of Death, Marketing the Film, A Hole in Space, The Secret of Hanging Rock, and About the Restoration. What does it say about the restoration? Because that's what I'm interested about. About the restoration, can the release of a film truly ever be described as definitive? The word, this is already not off the all good stuff. Peter Weir re-edited and released a new version of the film. I looked at the director's cut. It does look really nice, even with just standard HDR grading. In contrast to the Criterion, I think it's a touch up in terms of just quality, but alright, I wanted to be more thorough about my comparison. So I actually chucked on my, I've got a 4K player which is region free for Blu-rays, DVDs and everything. I'm comparing it to my Criterion, that's why the colour around me looks a lot more yellowy. I gotta be honest, I like it. Contrasting it with the Criterion, there's obviously the open matte nature, so it's, you know, got black bars on the side, but it's the full image, for one thing, which is very notable. The colour timing, I kind of like more. It seems to pops more when they're outdoors. It's a lot more yellowy. I live in Australia during the summer. It's kind of a thing. So, like, the overall look of it, I'm going to mute my TV so I can actually... In contrast of grain function, I don't mind the digital grain as much, because it doesn't really... Like, if you look really close, some parts of it do look a bit... Can look a bit waxy, but for the most part, I do like it. There's a consistency as well to digital grain, which I'm not really going to be an advocate for digital grain. It's better than natural grain. Natural grain's always going to be better. Obviously, if they hadn't have removed the grain, it wouldn't have been as much of a problem for people, which is fine. But I don't mind it. The image still looks really striking. I think it appeals to the effect of the film as an overall, in contrast to the Criterion. Because again, the Criterion is still from a film scan. It has film grain, it has dots and specks and dirt. But this looks just nicely cleaned up. It looks arguably like it was filmed yesterday, which can be a criticism of, digital noise reduction. But for the most part, I am very happy with the transfer. But no, the image looks really nice. The colours pop a lot more. It looks very clean. I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10. Arguably a 9. If it didn't have the noise reduction, it probably would be a perfect picture kind of deal. But even with the noise reduction and the added digital grain, I still think it looks really good. It doesn't seem to detract from the picture. So for the most part, I think it's a good picture. I think it's a really good set. Yeah. But it does have the theatrical cut, which I really wanted. I haven't seen the theatrical cut. I've only ever seen the director's cut. In this case, Picnic at Hamrock, both editions were director's cuts and both were director approved, but in the 13 years between the initial theatrical release and the release of the director's cut, the director had not so much changed his mind as revised his thinking. During the 1990s, the director's cut was synonymous with extended runs, Father Ted Christmas Special, whatever. For Weir's cut of Picnic at Hamrock was leaner and tighter, but more mysterious and ambiguous, rather than righting a wrong that had resulted from a producer interference. The best analogies for Weir's director's cut can be found in literature. Take, for example, the case of Henry James, who frequently returned to his works as late as 35 years later to revise the text, or Edward Albee, who on more than one occasion both pruned and updated Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Make no mistake, Weir's director's cut is the definitive version as opposed to the variation on the initial release, examples of which must include the 1980 special edition for Close Encounters and Ridley Scott's reworking of Alien. And while the original Criterion standard definition release of the director's cut was presented in 1.66:1 ratio, a subsequent release high definition master was 16:9 enhanced. So it actually even says in the book how it's a different transfer on the Criterion release. So it was decided to produce a new 4K master of Weir's director's cut from the original camera negative, and to work with both Weir and his director of photography, Russell Boyd, on a new high dynamic range color grade. To do this, the original camera negative was of Picnic at Hamrock, held at the Australian National Film and Sound Archive, was scanned in 4K resolution, as the original camera negative had not been recut to produce the 1998 cut. Weir's final edit was digitally conformed by restoration supervisor. Okay. Well, I mean, in all honesty, it looks like they've even admitted to a point where it says because they were using the original camera negative that hadn't been recut to produce the 1998 director's cut, Weir's final edit was digitally conformed by restoration. So they went through the original negative and cut it again, at least by what it sounds like. But cutting it to what it looked like in the director's final cut, so the, actual director's cut that they've released. But this time, obviously, a wider aspect ratio and a bit more cleaned up and color graded differently. So it doesn't particularly state that they have, removed grain, but it does seem like to some degree they probably did. By restoration supervisor. Digital cleanup work was carried out at Fixer Film in Warsaw under supervision of Lucas Kuranka, while color grading was by colorist Josiah Gazib in Los Angeles in liaison with both Peter. Okay. Honestly, I have no real criticisms. It does look a little... No, I wouldn't say waxy. That's always the term that they use. I don't know what the fuck that really means. I will show off, though, that they do have art cards. It does look really nice. The artwork is exceptional for this release. Obviously, I'm still very up in the air as to whether or not it was a worthwhile purchase, but as it goes, I wanted to buy the 4K anyway, so that's my main thing. It's also great to have the book with all the essays talking about the film. You do get this really, really nice spread which houses the discs. It actually, it is the rock. Not the way it's the picnic hang rock. So you got disc 1 and 2, which are both the 4Ks, and disc 1 and 2 of the Blu-rays. It actually has. It doesn't even say disc 3 and 4. It just says disc 1 and 2 and disc 1 and 2, which is very interesting. That the Blu-rays are Region B locked. I don't regret buying it. I do obviously have the Criterion, and I've gotten that signed as well by John Jarrett, because he was in the film. For the most part, I'm really happy about the release. I don't have any issues with it, I don't think. Like, even looking at it, it looks really goddamn nice. Like, the colours are amazing. It's just got a nice feel to it. And there is still enough noise, like grain noise, that it still seems like a healthy image, It still seems natural, so I don't regret it. I think it's good. So yeah. But that's all. Thanks for watching. I know this has been a longer collage video, but I don't know when I'm going to get anything else in the mail soon, so I'm expecting Fiddler on the Roof and Blu-ray, but I don't really know if that'll be worth showing off in a video. Outside of that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.